AEW's got a big problem, and Mercedes Mone is here to fix it. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that problem is, what Mercedes had to say, what she thinks can be done to fix it, and why I think it's a brilliant strategy. Because AEW, yes, they are financially, they are more than A-OK. Signing a new deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, getting that cash money, keeping Wednesday night Dynamites and Saturday night Collisions. Rampage, adios, see you later. Mercedes Mone, she was one of the big free agent signings done by Tony Khan this year, alongside the likes of Okada and many more. They even brought in Camille and Mercedes Mone. It's a perfect pairing. Camille as her bodyguard, if you will. I don't know about y'all, but it gives me Shawn Michaels Diesel vibes. But you know what? It works. Now, Mercedes Mone, she likes to say that she is the CEO, and she does her little catchy dance. At the end of the day, though, she doesn't run AEW, but she does collect a huge paycheck from them. Reportedly, the highest paid female in all of pro wrestling. So her opinion has a little bit of sway with Tony Khan and what they do with AEW. I mean, heck, they've built the women's division around her separately because, of course, we have the Women's Championship with Mariah May and the Toni Storm feud, but then on TBS side, well, it's all about Mone. So, with that being said, you know it, I know it, AEW, while yes, they're in a very good spot financially, well, they have a lot of growing pains that they're going through right now. Attendance down, ratings down, engagement down, overall fan interest down, but don't let those weird, creepy, loser-like-esque fans who, no matter what AEW does, just trashes them on a daily basis because they have nothing else to do and don't want to go outside and touch grass. Don't let them fool you. AEW is not as bad as they would like you to think, but they're not in the greatest of spots. They're not in a better spot than they were a year ago or 2 years or 3 years ago. But Mercedes Mone, she was brought in to help things change things, right? And the women's division was really helped with her coming in, and it gave them a much-needed star power boost. So what is this thing that she thinks they can work on? Well, Mercedes Mone doesn't think that it's realistic for AEW to close the gap in competition with WWE because both promotions are simply in entirely different universes. WWE, the top game in all of the land, while AEW is a very good number two. Mercedes Mone, she's spent time in WWE, obviously, as Sasha Banks, now is charting a new course in All Elite Wrestling. While they're going back and forth in the quote-unquote war, obviously WWE has gotten the better hand. Now, during an appearance on The Breakfast Club, Mercedes Mone was asked what AEW could do to catch up to WWE. And this is what she had to say. I don't know what it means to close the gap. I feel like it's always going to be a weird competition, but AEW's only been around for 5 years. The WWE, they've been around for 30 years plus. I don't know what kind of gap you can close with that. It's just such a huge gap of someone that's been around for so long. I think AEW just has to keep on being its own brand and being AEW and being where the best wrestle. That's our slogan. That's where legit the greatest wrestlers are signed right now. The best performers are signed here. And you can see that every week on TBS and TNT. We have the greatest performers from all over the world. And I think that's what makes us different. I don't think there's any gap that we have to close. I think we have to keep on standing out and being our own brand. Oh, okay. So let's get into it. Mercedes Mone, her way of fixing AEW, we can't be WWE. We're not sports entertainment. We're the best wrestling promotion on the world. We have the best wrestlers in the world. Let WWE do their promos. Let them do their big arcing storylines and big angles. Give the fans what they want. They want an alternative. You hear this all the time. We want an alternative to WWE, yet you give them an alternative and they don't know what to do with it. Tony Khan, he has to double down on what brought him to the dance, right? What brought him to the dance was a group of independent wrestlers, really, from all around the world, whether they worked in ROH or New Japan or wherever. You had a fan base from WWE desperately wanting something different, something better. And AEW, for many years, gave it to them. But then, around CM Punk's wonky last year, things just fell apart. Weird booking, weird angles, weird storylines, just meh there. You need to have it be the best wrestling, right? You need to stop, and this is what she's really saying, you need to stop just signing anyone and everyone that came from WWE. Just stop, right? There are a lot of great talent out there. There are only a few that moves the needle. Mercedes Mone, she moves the needle. Okada, I'm sorry, he hasn't moved the needle. The Young Bucks, I'm sorry, they don't move the needle. Bryan Danielson moves the needle. Will Ospreay moves the needle. Swerve Strickland, Hangman Page. It's ironic, those who you think would thrive, Tony Khan, who had relied on, tried on, they didn't really work. Okada didn't work. Young Bucks on top didn't work. People love Swerve. People love Hangman, Will, Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, Jack Perry, those types. Now they're being pushed to the forefront. So Mercedes Mone is spot on, and it is becoming more and more clear that Tony Khan is starting to go with it and understand, okay, here are our stars. Here are the stars I thought could have been our stars. With booking, with creative, with wrestling, it's all subjective, right? But you have to, as a booker, you have to go with the mass. What does the mass audience want? Well, they want to see Jon Moxley in the main event, and they want to see Swerve and Hangman in the main event mix, and they want to see Darby Allin in the mix. They brought back Britt Baker. That was a great move by them. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Toni Storm carried the women's division for the longest time. Mariah May is doing some of the best character work in all of the game, right? And that's tied to Toni Storm. So you have to double down on what works, and you have to avoid what doesn't. And there is a little bit of trial and error, but she's absolutely right. Don't be WWE. You're not WWE. You're where the best wrestle. Best wrestlers in the world, AEW. You want to see the best wrestling? It's AEW. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. That's how you execute, how you scale, how you build. That's the challenge. But at the end of the day, Mercedes Mone, she's 100% right. And as long as AEW can continuously grow and do good booking, good matches, good events, good shows, good programming, good storylines, bring in best wrestlers, then it's good to go. But I'm sorry, you have to have good wrestlers with strong personalities. Mercedes Mone has that. Swerve, Hangman, Darby Allin, Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay. They all have that. And I know they just brought him in. I don't know if Ricochet will do that. He's a great wrestler, but does he have that personality? Time will tell. Time will tell.